Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the Pirate Alliance Kazuna Clash vs Crocodile for the Super Boss 15-star event. And look, this is just not good. Like, this Super Boss is so ridiculous. The amount of gimmicks that they have, the amount of artificial difficulty they've slapped on, shit that you literally just cannot get around is just absolutely bonkers. Now, yesterday I put out a video for the 15-star event utilizing none of the newer characters, no 10.5 anniversary characters, none of that craziness. But today we're not holding back. Like, I'm not gonna go so in depth with the fine-tuning of damage, because look, I don't want to really encourage this kind of behavior from Bandai, but at the same time, like, look, this is the content we have, these are the characters we have, and in today's video, I'm going to be utilizing the 10.5 anniversary legends to help take down this 15-star event. Now, if you scroll on down here, you'll see the boosted list, all the way down here. Obviously, we have the rare recruits, but all these characters getting 2x stats, which is, like, nice and all, but, like, just the amount of gimmicks that are thrown at us because of what these characters can do, it's so ridiculous, man. Like, it's actually wild how much stuff they're throwing at us. As for the rest of the boosters, you have all the Kazuna Legends and all this fun stuff here. As always, the oh, they're not actually boosted this time around. The Verse units, the Verse Super Sugos are boosted, which is quite nice. But usually the anniversary exclusive characters were actually boosted, which is very interesting to see. But it's nice to see that these characters are boosted nonetheless, because they were, in a little bit of time, like, they were not getting boosted too. So we're going to dive into the Kazuna Clashes. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Don't be disheartened if, like, you can't build these teams, or if you can't build any teams, really, for Super Boss. Just put together whatever you can, because this particular fight, like, Super Boss is usually quite challenging to get big damage output anyway, but, like, this is a whole next level, guys. So I don't know what else to tell you. Like, it's real shit. Like, it's really, really shit. And honestly, it's really, really poor game design. So again, don't beat yourself up if you guys can't do crazy numbers or big damage, or even, like, take this fight down. Just work with your alliance and put together what you can. But hopefully this video helps you out. With that said, let's dive in. Alright, so starting off with the Strength Super Boss 15-star event. This is the one where they want you to use Kaido, King, Big Mom category. They want both of them on the team. Powerhouse driven cerebral characters get all the good stuff. Strength decks and int slots get a chance down and then retreat. I believe this is for that way you don't roll into, like, Semler slots and Wano slots. That's the only thing I can think of, being the Dex Orb there. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, the next stage is, this is where it starts getting nutty. 2 turns of bind after sockets on your middle row. 99 turns of Quick and Psy special bind. Now, you cannot do anything about this. The only thing you can do is Toki. Slap on Toki if you do have, say, 2 quick units. But the idea here is they want you to use dual characters, start as the non-quick variation, and then switch in so that way you get type advantage. It's fucking lame. I don't like it. I think it's, again, super poor game design, because realistically, they've just taken away 40% of the characters that would stereotypically be good for this particular fight. That's obviously just a rough number, but you guys know what I mean. Normal attacks only, 10 turns recovery bind, 2 Semler slot barriers for 2 turns, 5 turns of intimidation. If you use any chain multiplicative or chain boost, you are going to trigger an interrupt by 3 turns. So, like, it's just dumb, because, like, on the final stage, there's an interrupt for chain boost. This would be perfect, because then you could carry in a 3-turn into the final stage. But no, they just want to cuck that too. They have, obviously, the Brook counter, where if you remove any normal attacks only, it triggers this interrupt, which basically fucks your entire run. Now, I understand why they've done this, because, like, Brook kind of broke the fundamental mechanics of what the game was trying to provide, and I get that, but at the same time, like, this is just absurd. Like, this is just actually absurd. On defeat, the Super Boss is going to heal 100%, 6 turns of a random crewmate, so ideally you want to do some sort of captain swap, and then 3 turns of a top row blowaway, so you're going to lose your captains for 3 turns, unless, lo and behold, you run something like Big Mom Katakuri. After 1 turn, you are going to deal with 7 turns of captain swap, 12 turns of attack down, 12 turns of losing potential abilities, and then you lose your beneficial effects. Again, just don't pass turn. Like, it's just going to be really bad for you. On battle 3, Crocodile has full immunity, 99 turns of the blowaway shenanigans. Slaps on another 1 turn of blowaway, just in case, hey, you only used a 1-turn captain swap. No. That's not going to work for you. We're going to hit you again with something else, with another blowaway. So, very, very annoying. So, it is what it is. 98 turns of, if you're a chain multiplier, 0.1 or more at a 75% attack down. Now, this line right here, honestly, besides obviously the damage cap, is the biggest crux of what makes this Super Boss so incredibly fucked. If you guys have been playing the game for more than 10 seconds, you guys will know that as soon as you hit a perfect, you are started at 0.3 chain multiplier, which is already above this 0.1. So basically what this does is it just straight nerfs 75% of our damage. Why release and sell us all these crazy powerful legends just to slap on an artificial difficulty like 75% attack down when you're above a 0.1 chain. It makes no fucking sense, and if anyone's from Bandai could just answer me this question, why the hell is this here? And then follow it up by telling me why the damage cap still exists, I would honestly fly to Japan and buy you a beer. That's not even a joke. I would happily do that. You also get hit with 5 turns of an attack down if your chain is 9.6 or less. So again, if you're not, you can remove this one, but like, holy shit, that is a doozy. 1 turn of a tap limit of 3 times. There is 5 turns of an attack down if you attack with any type orbs, recovery, or tandem. Fun stuff. Normal attacks only. You get strength super type, 6% HP cut. 3 turns of an attack down, and then 98 turns of fighter, striker, and free spirit class characters having 200% resistance. So again, they're just basically going to do half damage. So it's just here to stop Zoro Sanji. Again, they make a crazy character that's been ruling the game for like the last 11 months, and they went, shit, we better nerf him now. Also, we have all the Brook shenanigans stuff, just so that way you don't use Brook. And then if you do an increased damage taken or a conditional effect on top of using any chain multiplier boost or chain buff for an unlimited amount of times, you're going to get a full board of super block slots, 4 turns of Captain Despair, 4 turns of Captain Bind, and 1 turn of Paralysis. So basically, if you use Kaido and King, you're still going to actually have to deal with this. And the idea is to run 2 Kaidos and Kings, so then that way, when you are the captains, you can just bypass all this because Alba's a beast. After 1 turn, you get Burn, Poison, and Pain. Don't deal with that. You're basically going to die. But the team looks like this. Basically, what we're doing is we're funneling into, obviously, Blackbeard and... we're funneling into King Kaido and Big Mom Katakuri. We are running a friend captain, Kaido and King, and then we're using Blackbeard as our captain. Blackbeard, he's just going to be our attack booster. He's going to be our territory setter. He's going to be our rush unit. He basically just does all of the fun stuff. What you actually can do with this particular team, though, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to crack the 9.6 chain. So if it doesn't, you can replace Smoothie with Yamato, but at the same time, like I said, I'm just sort of throwing together the bare minimum here for you guys, just so you get an understanding of how to actually take this down. Because, like I said, like this content, man, like even if you have the units, it's still like I still feel like I'm playing with like checkers while they're trying to make me play chess. So it is what it is. But as for turn 2, you do have the bind, so we have the Lafitte support. That's going to remove the 2 turns of it. Works pretty nicely, and then we can use the Katakuri and Big Mom captain shift to swap into captains. Now, what you kind of want to do on this particular turn 2 is you want to actually start as Kaido on turn 1 as your friend captain, and then on turn 1 switch into King. That way you have a Wano slot ready to go, so that way one of your captains can apply the burn mechanic. Because when you actually switch into Katakuri and Big Mom, their captain shift is actually going to make the middle row characters Semla slots with or tandem orbs, but then because they're captain, they turn to Semla. I just don't know why it just doesn't say change to Semla. And then they give themselves a Semla slot as well. With this, you'll have 3 Semla slots. That's going to break said barrier. You'll be pretty off to the races at that particular point. You don't have to use their special as well, provided you have enough damage to kill turn 2. But what I did here is I brought this particular Smoothie to slap on some color affinity. She's actually going to give you 3 turns of color affinity, and she makes some orbs matching. The idea of her here is just to give us a little bit more damage if we need it on that particular stage. As for the Kaido and King unit, you have to be in Alba, and again, your friend captain has to be Alba as well when moving into turn 2. Otherwise, you're going to take that crazy special bind. You can use the versatility of Blackbeard here as well. I believe, actually, I don't even know if we'll have the versatility live. Well, I mean, he's powerhouse, so you get all the good stuff. So you can use his versatility, you get the chain boost, and then you'll cut your HP, which will be quite nice as well. Once you do that, you should be able to kill turn 2, move into the final stage, and then on the final stage, you'll have Katakuri and Big Mom as your captain. With Kaido and Katakuri as your captain, you'll be able to avoid the blowaway and the captain swap. Use the Jack special. That's going to give you a chain boundary. It's going to give you some resistance for driven and striker characters. This whole team, you have powerhouse and strikers, which, funny enough, is what you need for the Blackbeard rush ability. So you're going to have that. You can use the Blackbeard special. That should give you the territory, the attack boost, and the base stats. Actually, probably use that before Jack. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, if I'm being completely honest with you. It really doesn't matter. Once you've done that, you can switch with your friend captain, Kaido and Alba. That's just going to apply the 2 resistances. And with this now, you actually have 4 different debuffs on the enemy, which will allow Big Mom and Katakuri just to do a little bit more with their special. With their special, if you have 4 effects, they are going to get... Oh, well, that sucks. I thought it was if you had 4 or 4 to 7. Well, look, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you do it then. So don't worry about that. That's just totally cucked too. So I was hoping so that way you could get like the higher orb buff, but lo and behold, you can't. So you're just gonna use their special, get the orb buff with them. Captain, use the super type to get out of Captain. That's going to then allow you to swap into Alba and King. Once you are in Alba and King, or actually no, yeah, you don't want to swap with your friend Captain. You want to stay as Alba. Once you've used the Big Mom Katakuri special, swap out, stay as your Albas, use your Alba to switch into Captain with Kaido, and then you can use your Kaido special to apply the, what's it called? You want to use your Kaido to apply all of the chain stuff. Now, it's going to trigger the interrupt, but because you have Kaido King and then King as your friend Captain, it's not going to worry about it. Then you can switch into your other Kaido, use the special there, and then again, you're not going to have to worry about the interrupt because you're going to bypass all that stuff as Captains anyway. Once you've done that, you can use the super class, swap back into Blackbeard, who's just going to be a little bit of a better captain, as you have 5 powerhouse characters on this particular team. Actually, we're running the Sharks Superb, so you probably don't want to swap back into Blackbeard. Just stay as Kaido King. Like, honestly, like, it really doesn't matter. So with this, you have the base attack boost, and chain boost from Blackbeard. You have color affinity from Smoothie. You have orbs from Big Mom Katakuri. You have chain shenanigans from Jack, as well as Kaido and King. Jack removed the attack down for you as well, forgot to mention that. And then you have a bunch of resistances as well. With this, the idea of having Big Mom Katakuri as captain when you use the Jack special, and then when you go into like Kaido and you have like that popping off using their specials, you should be able to increase the what's it called? You should be able to increase the chain boundary and the type effect boost because of their abilities to get the double stack when you have either Smoothie, Perispero, or Jack Queen on their teams as well. So that was the idea of the team. Whether or not it comes into fruition or not, it doesn't. But look, I'll do a playthrough video for you guys so you get an understanding of that, because I know me trying to describe this is just way harder to understand than actually watching me do it. As for the Dex variation, this one is a little bit easier because like they just want you to use Roger Rayleigh Gaban. Shooters, slashers, and cerebral characters, I believe, get all the good stuff. You get an ore block, no, fighters, slashers, shooters. Ore block on turn 1 as well, and then on turn 2 you get Despaired, Pain, normal attacks only, 6 turns of damage reduction, as well as 99 turns of Dex and quick characters getting special bound. Now, this is not as bad as the other one because, like, the type advantage is still there, but it does cuck Zoro Sanji, like, hard. It also cucks versus Luffy, hard, which is a bit of a problem, but there is a way around it. Obviously, Brook has the anti-Brook stuff, and on defeat, you get Captain Swap and 4 turns of attack down. It does go down to 3 turns of attack down with the new Bonnie support. Obviously, they want you to run Bonnie, so you can just slap that on and just go from there. As for the interrupt after 1 turn, you don't want to do that. It's really bad stuff. And then once you go into battle 3, there's full immunity, blow away shenanigans, and then again, that attack down if you're above 0.1 chain. You can't do anything about this. It's just so dumb. 75% attack nerf is just so dumb. If you run Semler slots, Wano slots, basically any of the big time orbs, tandem, all that sort of stuff, it'll go down to 0.5 times. So normally being a higher multiplier is actually going to like weaken the recovery 10 of Wano, Rainbow, and Semler slots. Again, something stupid, really stupid. And then what they also do is they slap your captain with a super block orb. So your actual captain will get just super block. Everyone else will be fine, but it's just your captain. Now, ideally, what they want you to do is Roger Rayleigh Gaban, use their level 5 final tap, which is fucked up. The fact they just expect you to use a level 5 final tap Roger Rayleigh Gaban to rotate this. It's ridiculous. It's just dumb. 23 turns of friend captain blind, which obviously Roger Rayleigh Gaban can just bypass with their captain ability. Normal attacks only, a Dex super type, 4 turns of defense up, and then an intimidation for 3 turns on base attack boosts, as well as conditional buffs. Now, you can remove this with Shanks because it is 2 turns, so that's always fun. You have the Brook shenaniganry, and then if you use an attack boost, orb effect boost, chain multiplicative, addition, or multiplier, you have to deal with 7 turns of special bind, 1 turn of damage null, and then losing all your beneficial effects. After 1 turn, you're going to get hunger and ship bind. Again, like, after 1 turn, like, who cares? You're not going past 1 turn, dude. It's just, that is what it is. As for the team, it looks like this. We are using a Anniversary Shanks as our friend captain, and we're running Verse Shanks as our own. So the idea of this particular team is on turn 1, you want to use the Toki ability on Zoro Sanji as well as Luffy. Super swap with Zoro Sanji on this particular turn 2. That way you go into their dual form, and you will be pretty much right to go once you do that. The reason you want to actually do this is because you want to use Zoro Sanji's special on turn 2. Zoro Sanji, you can't get the chain multiplicative, you can't get the chain boost because you trigger said interrupts. If there was a way to just bypass special bind, as well as the damage nullification, and then obviously you lose the beneficial effects anyway, so even if you do use the chain boost that Zoro Sanji and that provide, it's just going to blow Bellin away. So ideally you want to use them on turn 2. On turn 2, they are both going to get special bounce, the Luffy and the Zoro Sanji, but thanks to Toki Toki, you can avoid that. The downside to this is now you're actually going to have to deal with the 3.5 times attack and orb boost that Toki Toki is actually going to provide. Because of this, you actually can't use the Roger Rayleigh Gaban special on turn 2 to get the carryover of the attack boost that way. Very, very annoying stuff, but what you could try is you could actually try and move into the final stage and then utilize the attack boost that way. The problem is when you use an attack boost, Roger Rayleigh Gaban actually apply a resistance down at the same time. Because of this resistance down that they provide, as well as the type effectiveness of strength and int orbs. Because of this, you're actually not going to... It's still going to trigger the interrupt, which is very, very annoying. You're also going to have this switchability available too. So even though they have an attack boost that can't be blown away, it's still going to trigger the interrupt. So you kind of have to use them on turn 2. It sucks. It is what it is. But the idea of using them on turn 2 is that way you get the 2.75 for strength orbs, which is going to work out really, really nicely. Use their captain shift, obviously, too. Having Verse Shanks as your captain gives you that crit buff, so you don't have to worry about needing to do this on the final stage anyway, and then you can just move into the final stage. Now, the upside to moving into the final stage now is that Zoro Sanji are going to be out of their dual form. Everyone's still going to be Free Spirit and Slashes for 3 turns, but Zoro Sanji are actually going to go back to being just regular Zoro or regular Sanji. Really, really nice stuff. And the reason this is good is because now you can actually switch with Zoro Sanji to get the tandem orbs you're going to need to activate their super tandem, plus they can give you a 1.5 times attack boost. It's very, very small, but at the same time, it's still something. It's still something. Now, remember, Roger Rayleigh Gaban are going to go to your captain slot, and they're going to get a super block slot. So, on the final stage, Brook is going to activate. This free-to-play Kazuna Brook is actually super clutch. Once you get to the final stage, you can freely move slots 2 times. Something I forgot to mention actually on turn 2 is you're actually going to use your your Anniversary Shank special. That's going to remove the damage reduction, give you 3 turns of color affinity, and give you a full board of Psi slots. So when you move into the final stage, you should still have some Psi orbs somewhere. Ideally, you want to just keep 1 Psi slot on someone and keep the Psi orb on Toki. If you want, though, you can definitely chuck on any sort of like support, like Vivi, for example, that's going to give Toki an orb. Because remember, with Roger Rayleigh Gaban, you're actually going to get strength and int orbs at a higher multiplier. So what you probably want to do actually is do something like this. What's her name? Is it Per? Yeah, this one. Yeah, do something like this. So that way you can actually get an int orb, and then you can get a strength orb there as well. The idea is to just get the strength orb, so then that way you can swap with Roger Rayleigh Gaban, give Roger Rayleigh Gaban a what's it called? Give Roger Rayleigh Gaban a strength orb or an int orb, and then keep a strength orb on Toki, so that way you get a little bit more damage that way. You know what? You probably need to use like Vivi here. I know there's an Odin support. I don't know if most people have this, but like if you just have this one here, that's going to give you strength, and then you can use the Vivi up here. Like I said, anyone that just gives a matching orb on the final stage, like that's going to be the wave for what you want to do. Brook's going to trigger. You're going to have those orbs, and then you can move the orb onto Roger Rayleigh Gaban, and basically just give the super block orb to something like Zoro Sanji. That's going to work fine. Once you use the versatility of Luffy, that's going to increase that attack boost from Zoro Sanji's swap. Make sure to use the super EX of your friend Captain Shanks first. Remove the intimidation, and that way you can start using conditional buffs, and you get the orb buff there. Luffy's going to be a conditional buff to increase damage taken. Remember, everyone's still going to be Free Spirit and Slashes, even though Zoro Sanji aren't in their Free Spirit Slasher state. The versatility of Luffy applies increased damage taken. You have a conditional with Luffy, a chain boundary with Luffy. Shanks is going to apply weakening. He's going to be your second conditional, and he applies a base stat boost as well. It works out pretty hunky-dory from there. Basically, you're hitting very hard with 2 units here, Roger Rayleigh Gaban and Toki. So ideally what you want to do is just rush with the friend Captain Shanks, move into the Verse Shanks, then tap with Zoro Sanji to super tandem into Luffy and Toki to finish it off with the final tap of Roger Eggman. I don't know how much damage these teams are going to do. Like I said, I'm not going like too crazy in terms of banging my head against the wall. The fact that it took 20 minutes to explain what the fuck is happening with these teams and what is happening in the Super Bowl should say enough. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, vote the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, if you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.